Hello, my name's Geoffrey Wainwright, and I'm here to give a few stilted and self-conscious words about my new book of poems, As Best We Can, published by Carcanet Press in August later this year. I suppose that now I must describe myself as a full-time poet, since I retired about 10 years ago now from my post as teaching English at Manchester Metropolitan University, which means that I can go downstairs from where I'm sitting now to my book-lined workroom and burrow away at a new poem or more likely something that's already underway. And I'm lucky in this, and I'm lucky in the space that I've got to work in. But it gets better, because for part of the year, most often in the summer, I can go to our house in Italy, in Umbria, a little house which nonetheless has a nice terrace, a table, a chair, and, looking out over the valley below, a wonderful view. And here I also write. Again, usually in the mornings, worrying away at whatever I'm engaged in. I write with a pencil and a notebook. I use a pencil in both places I'm talking about now. I'm using a pencil because it's a tentative implement. I'm never very certain about what I'm working on until it's quite a long way advanced. And so a pencil seems to me to be the proper, cautious implement to use. I'm asked to say something about a book that's much impressed me lately. And the book that I've chosen to talk about a little is Palace Walk, a novel by an Egyptian writer, Naguib Mahfouz. Palace Walk is a family novel set in the 1918, and written in 1950, not translated in English until 1990 actually. Palace Walk is a family novel about the vicissitudes of a merchant family. Well, the man is a shopkeeper. The man of the family is a shopkeeper, and his four children, 2 girls and two boys. They are approaching adulthood, so it covers a good deal of their courtship and marriages, some of which is rather fraught. Towards the end, the book becomes more preoccupied, as the family does, with the demonstrations that are taking place in favour of Egyptian independence from the British in 1919. So the novel becomes, in its latter part, very political, and altogether it gives me, who know nothing about these events, gives me a very good impression of the nature of the Islamic society in which the family lives, and the politics of that era. As Best We Can is a book I'm quite pleased with. It contains a variety of different kinds of poems, some of them short and lyrical, some of them more extensive. The poem that I'm perhaps most pleased with is called Who Was St. Chad? Well, who indeed? He was a remote, early medieval English saint who gave his name to a church that my mother used to attend when she was a girl. The poem is dedicated to her, and it is about her religious life to an extent, and which is taking place at the same time as religion as a whole is losing its hold in the potteries where she and I were brought up. And that's what the poem is largely about, and therefore about such issues as mortality and religious observance. But the poem that I'd like to read now is a short poem. It's the first poem in the book, and it's called Give Me a Line. Give me a line. Any line will do. It could feature, for instance, this periwinkle blue. It could make a start. Or I could attend this magpie on the ledge. He is brisk, fears little, is at home on brick as much as grass. He has his place and might be understood. I like to think that we can make a start from here, or indeed from anywhere, you and I, at figuring why we are, like all else, just so, enabled to talk and touch, argue and kiss, until we shall be separated, the world scarcely needing to adjust as we are so differently disposed. Thank you.